Alright, hey guys, LegalLockPIcker here, and welcome to day 5 of our week-long review series of the credit card lockpick sets. It has finally come to an end. Just a brief review of the lockpick cards that we've done so far and how they've held up according to you, the viewer. Day 1, we started off the week with the Pink's Emergency card, which unfortunately ended quicker than a Master Lock 3 due to multiple structural failures along the way. The general consensus of this was do not purchase, and that's from you, the viewer, in the comment section. Day 2, we took a look at the countycom.com lockpick card Titanium. That was the name, Titanium. We found out almost immediately the picks were too large to fit in most locks and be effective. It was also noted that though the card itself was not magnetic, I could not independently verify that the card was in fact titanium. However, for $10 I would consider it an interesting gift, just not a practical one. Day 3 was the travel pick set from Subtle Digs. The first to offer a rake in its pick lineup, which was a welcome sight. Still, the picks were too large to be effective in most applications. The card's original price was $29.99 and was also a difficult obstacle to overcome for most. However, they do have an updated V2 version that cost $45. However, the only notable difference in this set was the tension tool. The general feeling in this was again way too expensive. Day 4 was a welcome reprieve for most because the Tool credit card pick set was one of the most requested cards for review, and that was only under the Wendt Tools Lockmaster card. The Tool card has a wide selection of 2 rakes, 1 diamond, 1 reach, and 2 hooks, a spread made for most emergency situations. The tools were smooth and well designed. For a cost of $30, most were satisfied knowing that a percentage of that went to the tool coffers. And finally, day 5, that's today, the credit card pick set from Wendt Tools, the V2 Lockmaster card. Card can be purchased on their website for £18. I think it's £18.90, which is roughly $22. Or you could wait until the end of this episode and figure out how you could get it for free with the rest of the giveaway stuff. So, now that we've gotten all these other cards out of the way, I saved the I think that's how you pronounce it, the Wendt Tools for day 5 because there was a lot involved in it and there were a lot of questions to answer. This was the original one here, their V1 project, and this was very similar to the Pink's card in that there were mainly just probes. If you want to see an in-depth review of these types of things, I'll leave a link in the description below for Lock Noobs. He does a good job of describing these, but we're going to focus on the main set here. And I just have to say I've had a lot of practice with these. I've had a lot of time to use them. And I understand that these are only meant for emergency cases, and they're not really meant for long-term use. They do hold up. So from their website, the HUK website, it says they're 0.6 millimeter thick. They're made from high-quality materials in Germany. They use the chemical etching process to make sure the edges are smoother, and they do that cutting to make sure these are easily popped out of the case here, and I think that's great that they paid attention to detail. Let's take a look at this real quick. This is the card here. It shows you the numbers which correspond with each tool, and then on the back here you can see the pry bar style, Z wrench tension tool, the 2-part Y wrench tension tool. Number 4 is the micro tension tool. Then the snake rake, small hook, large hook, half diamond, triple peak, medium hook, and a city rake. And then, of course, it says pick set was designed by Lock Newton Talent Pick, and it's got a picture of the Y wrench here. So that's pretty cool. I do like that. I think that's very interesting, and I think that's very clever. That's good for people who are not familiar with this type of thing. So let's take a look at this card here. All right. So like they said before, they have this little mini wrench here. That's the mini tension tool. It's really clever, actually, especially if you can find out clever ways to use it. Let's see, we've got the city rake here at the bottom. They use the outside rim of the card here to put two of the tension tools here. The one with the little box that you connect with this one here, and then of course you've got the longer tool all the way at the top. We do have a Z wrench in the middle. I think that's pretty cool as well, because that gives you it just gives you a lot of opportunity and different ways to use these tools. So it does still have the hooks, but I think when you're using these types of cards, the most practical thing to use are the rakes, because you're really not going to be doing much of the precision picking that you think you'll be doing. So, you know, it's pretty cut and dry if you ask me. Now, as far as taking the card apart, they're really simple to crack open. I'll actually do it for you right here. All you have to do is push down on both sides. You have cut right there, and then you can pick which side or which tools that you'd like to use. So for this exercise, we're going to, that was really simple. It doesn't take any cutting tools like some of the other cards we used this week. Remember, it took almost 5 minutes using the cutting tools to get some of the tools off. That's not practical when it's cold outside and you're trying to get in your front door because you left the keys at your friend's house, and your friend hits silent on his phone because he's with a girl, and you're like, oh man, come on. So then you got to pick their own door open, and it ends up being a pain. Well, you know, I'm not saying that happened to me. I'm just saying. Alright, it did happen to me. I'm just saying. So, alright, let's, I really want to get to this rake, so let's do the raking. Now, I haven't actually gotten a chance to use the combination of the, I've gotten to use everything, but I thought I would try this part out with you guys today, just so we can see how practical this is. It's very interesting. Well, I guess we can't use the rake with this. I wonder if you could use it like this. Like an extended bar here. Put that in there and then you... Oh, okay, that's clever. Alright, I know this is not how you're supposed to use the rake, but I'm just going to try it anyway. Do you see how I have it extended here? That's actually pretty cool. You know what? This would actually work pretty well if you were single pin picking. Look, and I got it open. Alright, so we've determined that that worked. I was not expecting that to work, so the fact that it did was even clever. worked even better than I thought it was going to be. You can see that you can clip these on to like any kind of key ring, so that way you can use them long term. So this is just another way to use it. They're all the same, and they give you a lot of room to hold, which is great. I can't tell you how good that is, because some other ones are so small it's just not worth it. The only one that isn't the same is the city rake that you see here. It's a little shorter here, but again, the way you use the city rake, that's not necessary to make it any longer. I also put some of this heat wrap around the two smaller tools, so that way I can put it here as a top of the keyway, and instead of having one thinner piece, I put them together, and now we have a thick top of the keyway tool. So it's actually, you know, again, this is long-term functionality here. And I put the rake, the triple peak here, I put that in a Southord holding tool, and that works just as well. So these are other ways that you can use these tools, and I think those were very interesting. And I also want to show you one more thing before we get to the giveaway stuff. This is a T900 American lock, and what I did was I kept this part, the small tension wrench, onto the larger one here, and what I did was this part, excuse me, I took this part here and I left it on and I stuck it into the tubular part. So the small one went here into the tubular part, and then I put pressure on this one right here. And what I did was I took the here it is, I took the hook while tensioning this, and I ended up picking the tubular lock using this as a tension wrench. So these can be used in a ton of different ways. You just have to get creative. So we could sit here for another 45 minutes and pick every lock in the place to show you how it works, but until you actually try them and you've actually get some experience with them, you can decide whether you like them or not. I have decided that this is something I'm going to carry with me, just because it gives you a wide selection and a lot to work with. So with that being said, this wraps up the emergency pick card week. I hope you guys enjoyed this series, and if you want to win some of the last sets that we have, thanks to the Wendt Tools here, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know how you like this set here, if it's something that you would get. I'll also leave a link to their website in the description below. If you share the content, I see the share, obviously you'll get yourself a free set of these. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.